Dinul Doluweera, an alumnus who gives a whole new meaning to the term all-rounder, a legend among us. He has been awarded the Best All-Rounder and Best Leader at Chapura Employability Skills Awards 2021. He's also a two-time University Colours Awardee while being captain of the University Chess Team and a member of the Champion University Swing Team at the Sri Lanka University Games. He was also the president of the Sports Club of the Faculty and the secretary and a founding member of the English Literary Association while maintaining a stunning academic performance throughout his undergraduate years. And now, let's talk about the all-rounder, Dinul Doluweera, with the man himself.
Hello everyone and welcome to the inaugural segment of Beyond the White Coat, an interview series shining the spotlight on the most extraordinary of our very own alumni. Proudly presented to you by the English Literary Association of the Faculty of Medical Sciences of University of Sri Jayewardenepura. As the first guest of this series, we invited one of the most accomplished and outstanding individuals that our faculty has produced in the recent past, Dinul Doluweera. Welcome and thank you for being here amidst your busy schedule.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm truly honored to be the first guest in this exciting new series that you guys have planned.
So what are you doing these days?
So these days I'm actually taking some time off and relaxing. I'm at this period of any medical student's life where one of the few periods actually you get some free time. So I'm just trying to travel and enjoy life and absorb it while I still can.
That's great to hear. So as an all-rounder, I'm sure sports played a monumental role in your life. Let's begin our conversation today with how you were first introduced to sports and what you accomplished in the field.
Sure. So my journey in sports dates back when I was in school. I was from Ananda College, Colombo, and ever since I was young, I was quite active, and I enjoyed playing sports. So my parents encouraged me to explore different sports and see what I enjoy, and pretty soon I figured out that my passion was in chess and swimming. So I played both of these sports competitively. I represented my college in both swimming and water polo, and I managed to perform quite well. But my main sport was chess. So I was part of the team throughout my school career, and I captained the team. We managed to win several championships in my time there, and as a result of those, I was awarded multiple awards, including colors and whatnot. And so I continued all of those right up till A levels. And as you know, for any medical student, I guess there is a period where you have to put everything else on hold and do A levels. So because of that, there was a temporary break. But after that, I picked things up once I came to university again. So in university, I went on to do those exact same sports, and I was part of the university chess team. I went on to captain the team, and also I was part of the university swimming team, where we won again the inter-university championship several times. So I was throughout all of this, I was fortunate to have been put in good hands, both at school and at university, where we had the right backing, so that we had the proper foundation to go and perform well. And as a result, we managed to do marvelous things in both sports.
That's pretty impressive. And you have represented your country in chess as well as in debating at international competitions. So what does it feel like to represent Sri Lanka internationally as well as in such diverse spheres?
Well, I have to say it was an extraordinary experience. First of all, it was incredible in the sense that it gave me a sense of accomplishment, because after so many years of hard work, blood, sweat and tears, and you finally get an achievement where you can look back and say, okay, I made it, right? So it sort of gives a sense of validation. At the same time, it boosted my confidence, so that catapulted me and helped me perform better later on as well. It was also, I guess, in a way, it was a way of paying homage to everyone who helped me get there. My coaches, my parents, my family, my friends, everyone, my teammates. So everyone was so proud to see me achieve those feats, and I was proud to give them that satisfaction and that satisfaction as well. So it was an incredible experience, and it also opened a lot of doors in the sense that I came across new people, new friends in different countries, and new resources, which all helped me improve my craft. And of course, there is the added benefit of getting an all expense paid vacation to a different country. So it's an incredible experience all in all, and that is something that I encourage that every sportsman should strive for at the end of the day.
That's surely an experience of a lifetime. And now let's talk a bit about the clubs and societies that you were involved in. You were one of the founding members of the English Literary Association and later went on to become the secretary, and you also were the president of the sports club at our faculty. What was the experience like to engage in multiple clubs and societies as an undergraduate?
Well, I guess the primary thing is that when you're in different spheres, you get to interact with different kinds of people, and I think that's one of the most important skills that we have to gain at the end of the day. Whatever field that you're in, be it medicine, be it anything else, you need to be able to handle people, and I guess that's a valuable skill that I've learned to hone through being in multiple clubs, right? When you're working, you would come across different types of people. Surely you know this. There are the kinds of people where you just have to tell them and they'll get it done. And then there's certain people who needs a bit more encouragement. So you learn how to deal with different people, and you learn what triggers different people in different ways. So that was something that I learned through working in these clubs. The other thing is, because I was actually involved in multiple clubs, it was important for me to learn how to prioritize and manage my time so that I don't jeopardize or neglect any single activity, but I dedicate more or less an equal time to everything. So it was a rewarding experience because it gave me those essential skills which I believe would one day be useful, and of course it helped me become friends with different types of people. So I have friends in my batch, throughout my batch, senior batches, junior batches. So it helps you meet new faces, and I mean that's also rewarding at the end of the day.
That's great. And while doing all of this, you didn't merely survive like most of us, but you got through medical school with flying colors, getting a first class in every possible exam. How was it that you were able to strike a balance between your academics and your extracurricular activities?
Okay, so I'll first speak a little bit about academics. I think the first most important thing is, to a certain degree, you have to enjoy what you're doing, right? It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but medicine, at least to me, it's actually a very interesting thing. And once you learn to enjoy it, you will retain more of it and you will want to do more. For those of you who don't necessarily find medicine enjoyable, what I can say is that once you get the hang of it, it becomes enjoyable, just because you realize, okay, now I understand, and then you tend to do it more and more. So it's hopefully that will work whichever side you lean on. The second thing is, I would say you have to, something that I really took to heart was to learn the art of learning, because we all have limited time, especially given my schedules. I had to optimize my time as much as I could. So it was crucial that I learned how to study smart rather than study hard. I know it's a cliche, but it's actually true. You need to know how much time and effort you need to put into a particular subject or so on. And there are numerous principles that you have to follow. For example, there's something called the 80-20 rule, where it says that if you put you focus 20% of your effort, you can reap 80% of the efforts of the results. So I know these things are things that everybody says out lightly, but these things actually work, and these are things that I employed, and it actually worked out well for me. The other thing in terms of balancing academics and extracurriculars, I would say, is that you need to be able to prioritize and plan accordingly. So like I said, I had to juggle multiple clubs and academics at the same time. So to do that, I needed to have a set plan. I need to know, okay, these are the things that I have to cover by the end of this day, by the end of this week, by the end of this module, so on. So for that, I had dedicated a separate time every day for studies. So no matter what work I have, I will somehow make sure I get something done that day. So you need a certain degree of planning and prioritization to make sure that you touch everything at the same time. I guess that would be the best advice that I could give, and that's certainly what I did in my curriculum. So if you actually go back in history in our faculty itself, you would see that it's the students who actually engaged in a lot of extracurriculars and balanced it, who performed well in academics at the end of the day. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but the rationalization that I built was, one thing is, when you are doing multiple activities, you learn the art of time management. I mean, you're forced to learn the art of time management at least. So then you realize, like I explained before, you realize I have to get this much of time for this activity and so on. The other thing is, there's this principle that I found very fascinating. It's called the Parkinson's law, which states that whatever activity that you have tends to expand to fit the time that you allocate for it. For example, let's say I want to finish a particular lecture in 2 hours, and you want to do the same thing in 1 hour. Both of us would take that amount of time because we allocate that time for it. So that would expand. If you gave 5 hours, you would still keep on doing that for 5 hours, right? So my point is, when you have numerous activities to attend to, you tend to limit your time. Okay, I can't allocate more than 1 hour for this. So you're restricted in the sense, and that's an important skill to learn as well. So I guess a culmination of this, ultimately it's about setting goals, making a plan, and then seeing it through, while finding time to, take a break as well, just to relax, and so you don't burn yourself out.
Well, I'm taking notes right now. So, if you have such significant academic commitment while being a medical student, what sort of discipline was required for you to maintain your sports skills as well as your physical fitness levels while you were an undergraduate?
Well, I guess it's all about finding time. I'll explain through an example. So when I was in second year, third year, my usual routine would be, I wake up at around 5:30 and I go swimming. And I swim swimming practices till about 7:30. Then I get dressed, come for lectures or clinicals, whatever, and I have lectures until 4. I finish lectures, then I go to the university for chess practice. That goes on till about 8, 9, and I get home exhausted at the end of the day, and all I want to do at that point is just to drop into bed and sleep. But I can't afford to do that now, can I? Because I have to do that continuously for about 1 or 2 months. So even if it's 9 p.m., 10 p.m., I would still study something so that I don't go like a complete idiot for the next lesson. So it's all about having that sort of dedication and discipline to know, okay, I have to do this, I have to get this done. You need that sort of dedication if you are going to juggle all of these things. The other thing is, especially when it comes to team sports, you have to understand that it's not just yourself. You are representing your university and your teammates. So you have a duty towards both of them, right? You can't afford to neglect sports and do just academics just for your sake, because that's going to be detrimental to your team. So you need to have that responsibility. Keep that in mind when you're taking part in these things. I know this may sound daunting, but when I explain my day, it might have seemed impossible, but it actually is fun because you're not just doing this on your own. If you see it as an activity that you enjoy, you get to spend time with people, you get to have fun while you don't see the time going by, and you don't feel that tired, to be honest, at the end. So it's about having that discipline, knowing your responsibility and your duties, and making sure that you live up to your expectations and your tasks.
Well, that's sheer dedication right there, I guess. And I think anyone who would get to know you now would naturally wonder whether you were always this prodigy sort of person, or were there actually obstacles in your life that acted as a turning point that changed your life course?
Okay, firstly, I'd like to like bust that myth because I was never a prodigy. I was never this, academic whiz. I was never like a genius level intelligence, nothing like that. I basically flunked all my exams in school. I think the only exam I did properly was A levels. So I guess my turning point would have been that, because I did my first try, I didn't get through, and I remember after I got my results, I didn't really try that hard, to be quite honest. But when I got my results, I just sat in my desk and I was like, hey, I can do better than this, right? I didn't even try that hard and I did quite all right. What if I actually put some effort into it? So that was sort of like the turning point, because I realized, if I actually put effort into what I do, I can achieve it. So with that, I did my second try. I managed to get into Jayewardenepura medical faculty, and ever since then, I took a voluntary effort to, not just do things for the sake of doing it, but to actually put an effort and do it properly, right? And as a result, I did fairly well in my academics in university, and I managed to do my sports as well. So that was probably like a pivotal moment in my life where it was like a wake-up call, and it showed me, okay, now you have to get your act together, right? Another thing is, even in sports, I wasn't particularly gifted. I had to work my way through it. In terms of chess, I started quite late on. While others started in grade 4, 5, I started grade 7, 8, right? But I still managed to pick up the pace because I put in that work. I can't take all the credit for it. I had a tremendous backing from my parents. I had a brilliant set of coaches. So I had the perfect backing to achieve everything, but I had to work hard for each and everything that I wanted. So I guess one of the things that helped me achieve everything I did was because I didn't start that well off to begin with. So I knew what it was like to lose. I remember the very first chess game that I played. It's so embarrassing, but when I lost, and my opponent asked me, "Do you accept defeat?" And I was like, "No," and because it was, I don't know, it sort of hurt my ego in a sense. So when things like that happen, you tend to, tell yourself, I'm not going to let this happen again. So you work harder and you do better and you achieve greater things. The same could say for the other activity that I did was speaking, debating, and that area. So I initially couldn't speak in front of a audience, even if they paid me for it. I had severe stage fright. But fortunately, I was in the right place. My seniors in school, they coached me into being able to talk in front of people, let alone fluently. And because of that, with a lot of practice over the years, I've come to a state where I can comfortably talk in front of an entire audience, or a seminar, or a workshop, or whatever. So I guess it's constant work and dedication into your craft, and ultimately you'd be able to achieve great feats.
That's very inspiring. And I want to ask you, amidst all of this, do you really have any free time? And if so, how do you spend your leisure time?
Okay, free time, I guess. Yeah, every now and then I do get free time. I actually make it a habit to have some sort of time where I take some time off just to wind off. So usually after lectures, I would take an hour or two. Even in the height of the final year, I used to take 1 or 2 hours off just to wind down. And I guess that's important for us, especially given how demanding our curriculum is. So what I usually do is I would listen to music. I play the violin, so that sort of thing helps to calm me down, and it's sort of like a break from reality and helps me collect myself again. I also enjoy just what any regular person would do, watching TV and stuff. I especially enjoy watching documentaries, so that sort of thing keeps me going despite all the stress and work that we have to put into.
Well, you spoke about violin, and you're not just any violin player, but you are a Vadya Visharada in violin. And in addition to your MBBS degree, you hold a diploma in psychology as well as a certificate in business management. At a glance, these seem like such diverse pathways that don't necessarily complement each other. So how would you say that all of these fit in the big picture?
Well, all of these activities, I guess I would have done, I did due to one of two reasons. Firstly, if it's something that I, find interesting or I'm passionate about, which was the case in violin and also in the terms of studying psychology. I was always astonished by the human mind, how it works. So I want to learn more about that, which is why I pursued that. The other reason why I did most of these activities is if I identified a certain skill that I thought I was lacking, I wanted to do something to work on that. And I guess that's where the whole business management came in, because I didn't have the slightest clue about that field. And I felt like that's something that I would need to know down the road. So right after my A-levels, I had some free time. So I just went and I just got a rudimentary understanding of what happens in that field. And hopefully that would pay off someday down the road. So I guess it's important, what I could give to you all is that it's important to identify your weaknesses and focus on those so that you're more all-rounded. I always believe it's important to be good at a lot of things rather than be a Mozart in one particular thing. So that was sort of like the rationale behind doing different things from different fields.
That really gives so much perspective. So within such a short span of time, you have come so far. Are there any significant individuals that you are grateful or thankful for?
Yeah, of course, there's so many people, and if I start listing out names, I wouldn't come to the end of it.
It took a village to get me here, starting right from my parents. Despite having the most hectic work schedules, their number one priority has always been to support us. And on the rare occasion that they can't come through, my lovely grandma has always been right there to hold my hand. The same goes for my brother. He's the one person I can always count on no matter what. He has always been my rock and my inspiration.
There's this saying that my father always says, you should surround yourself with the best to eventually be the best. So in that sense, I was very fortunate to find an incredible set of friends who have always stood by my side and have supported me. There was this one particular story I'd like to highlight. It was a couple of years ago. There was this competing competition right here in faculty, and I had never competed before that in my life, and I was so scared to go and even take part. And then my friend Amalka, who was there with me at the time, she said, "It's fine, just go. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Just have fun with it." So I went. Miraculously, I went on to win that, and that was actually the start of my competing career. And since then, I've gone to compete at numerous events, medical and non-medical as well. So that just goes to show that I was fortunate to find an incredible set of friends who have always pushed me to new boundaries and push me out of my comfort zone so that I can achieve new heights.
That's great. And as we near the end of our interview, you've most definitely come so far, but there's still further to go. What are your future ambitions, and where do you see yourself in 10 years' time?
Okay, despite me ranting on the importance of planning for the past 10-15 minutes, I actually haven't planned it that far, but I hope I'm at a place, my values are that I want to be in a place where I can give back to my school, give back to my university, to pass on the legacy that was handed on to me. So, and also, I'm going into the medical profession, so I want to give back to my country as well. So if I'm in a position where I can cater to everyone who has helped to got me this far, I'd be more than happy and content. So thinking broadly as of now, that's all I want to do.
Best of luck with that. And the final question, In one line, what advice would you give to your juniors?
All right. So, one line I would say: jump at and embrace every single opportunity that you get. Stay resilient. Don't lose hope throughout, and eventually, one day, you will change the world.
I think those are such great words of wisdom, and thank you, most importantly, for taking time off your busy schedule to be part of this interview. And stay tuned with us for further videos. We will be back soon.